Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The DRF Bets race of the day for Friday, February the 9th is race number 8 at Santa Anita. And if you sign up for DRF Bets right now, you can access a $200 free bet, no deposit required. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join and use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at this field of 3-year-old fillies getting set to go 6.5 furlongs at the Great Race Place. You can access free formulator past performances of this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Please download them and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, and the number 1 Secret Spice has been facing some toughies recently.
Yeah, she certainly has. You could make the argument am I out of line saying the 2 favorites for the Kentucky Oaks right now? By saying Dream Tree, considering what she's done, all she does is go out and win. She's 4 for 4. And then Midnight Bisou, who, you know what, her 2 losses came to Dream Tree by a nose, but then she came back and was smashing in that stakes race. I think they're the 2 horses to beat. So if you want to just look at it like that, Secret Spice is getting a world of class relief.
Pace setter last time out against those 2 horses in the Desi Arnaz, a race that's featured 3 next out winners. Of course, Dream Tree is still undefeated. Midnight Bisou came back to win the Santa Ynez with an 89 Beyer speed figure. This filly will be under the gun, though, from the inside post to gain a good forward position. There is other speed in the race. What sort of trip is Kent D looking for?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, her only victory thus far, gate to wire fashion. Anytime she's been out there, she's been giving up ground late, and I just look at and see this race looks like it's loaded with gas early on. I don't know what kind of trip you're going to work out down there.
The only multiple winner in this field is the number 2, Show It and Mow It, who's a real solid Calbred, and I liked what she did last time out. She was in for a $50,000 tag. She pressed the pace outside of 2 other horses, and then she just ran away from that field to win by 8 lengths. Getting a little tired late, drifting out in the stretch. Pace pressure could be more in here. These horses probably a bit more talented than the one she faced last time out, but boy, she looked good.
Yeah, she really did, and I have to be honest, I think I'd be more intrigued with her if she were drawn more to the outside. Being down on the inside, it makes me just look at it and say she's in a really tough position. The 81 Beyer, I know it was kind of out of nowhere, but the way that she did it makes me think that she fits in here. But it's one thing to do that against overmatched, inferior Calbreds. Now you step up, and I know a lot of these girls are facing winners for the first time, but they all look like they've got some ability.
Although the number 3 Street with No Name is dropping out of the Grade 2 Santa Ynez, her only lifetime victory came for an $80,000 price tag, which makes me think she might need slightly lesser competition to do her best. If there is a fast pace, she's really the only confirmed closer in the race.
I was going to say, if they just line up on the front end, you know where she's going to be. She's going to be toward the rear at the beginning, come with that one sort of sustained run. The problem is, even with that, you're going to need them to fall down in front of you. Based on what she's done, she's not fast enough.
Timeform US agrees with us. They think this pace will be fast. We're going to take a look at the pace projector. The 4 Ahimsa, the 6 Emboldened, the 7 Miss Dupree likely to be scrimmaging for the lead. That red bar indicates a fast pace that could work to the advantage of the late runners or stalkers. As for Ahimsa, that was a nice debut for a daughter of Animal Kingdom. Not only was it fast, an 82 Beyer effort, but she took some pressure early, opened up on the turn, kept to her task. Likeable performance. Peter Urton, not known for winning first time out. This filly might have a future.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, I mean, I know this is trying to read between the lines and get too far into the weeds, but you look and see Mike Smith took the mount first out at Los Alamitos. Mike doesn't ride at Los Al, hardly ever, unless it's a graded stakes race. I thought she was really good. She was sharp from the inside. She went out there. She took some heat. The runner-up has come back to earn a 76 Beyer in her next start, so it's not like she wasn't beating anything in there. I have no knock against her.
Another debut winner at Los Alamitos, Ahimsa's next-door neighbor, the number 5 Highland Lass. John Sadler has a positive formulator fact that we can discuss. Over the last 5 years, with second-time starters that won their career debut, 3-year-olds on dirt, that's a good number. Sadler turns into a 27% trainer, a 252 ROI, and one of the horses that Highland Lass beat came back to earn a 74 Beyer.
Yeah, that was the 4th place finisher. The runner-up that day was a horse that was supposed to run against Emboldened, unfortunately scratched, but she was going to take some money in there. I have no knock against the way that this filly ran. 5.5 to 6.5 may be the only concern, but I have to be honest, it's really going to come down to who shows the kind of gas. The problem is the 4, the 5, and the 6, they all had similar running styles in the career debut. Now the question is, with the other speed to the inside, someone's going to have to rate, because unless they all just kind of sit there and play a game of chicken, no one's going to win.
Not sure what she beat last time out, but I'd argue that the 6 Embolden was the most visually impressive of these recent maiden winners. She went right to the front. There were a couple of horses pressing her early. She moved to the lead on the far turn, and then she was basically a ridden-out winner by Joe Tallam. Now she was 1-2. She was supposed to win that race in that fashion. Embolden now is going to have to face tougher competition, a tougher pace situation. That was a nice win, though.
Really was. I loved everything about it. Visually checked all the boxes. You look at the pedigree, it's there. The second dam was a Breeders' Cup Distaff winner and multiple Grade 1 winners, so you don't have anything to question there. The one thing that I'll say is I don't know what kind of trip she's going to work out here, because I think she's going to have to sit. I don't think she's fast enough to clear, and speed did well at Santa Anita that day. That would be the only caveat I'd throw in. One
of my knocks is you can go into Formulator and you can really dive into those trainer stats, and Baffert usually works his horses 5 furlongs off of a 31 to 60 day layoff. All of his 23 winners over the past year, coming off that moderate-sized layoff, has a 5 furlong work. Embolden has 4 half-mile works. It may mean nothing. She's a very slight filly. Maybe she doesn't handle those longer distance trainings, although she did breeze in 59-3 before her debut.
Well, and that's kind of my only concern with her is you see Baffert bang, 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 dropping out these bullets, showing these big, fast workouts. The past 2 half miles have been very, let's just say, pedestrian for Baffert standards.
Maybe he's trying to teach her to rate a little bit, not to get her so speed crazy with some of these horses. She's shown a lot of potential, as is the 7 Miss Dupree, going out for trainer Phil D'Amato. We have a positive Formulator fact for D'Amato. Past 3 years, debut winners coming back in start number 2 in dirt sprints, 45%, a $3.12 ROI. Miss Dupree, we talked about it before we came on. She was flashing her tail a little bit in the stretch, but she grinded it out, and it was a fast race. And perhaps most advantageously for her in this spot, she is the outside speed, where she can sit just off the pace, keeping an eye on these other horses with no traffic in front of her.
Yeah, in theory, she could work at the best trip in this entire thing. Now, she's going to have to prove that she can pass horses, but the resenting of the whip and the flashing of the tail, certainly not what you want to see. I thought speed did well that day at Santa Anita as well. I guess the big thing for me is this class hike, because the field that she beat that day wasn't very good. You've had second, third, and fourth place finishers come back, 66, 69, 64 buyers. She's facing much better this time around.
I wonder if the 8 Aliana falls into that prime stalking trip just off of the 3 speeds. Blinkers on for this Peter Miller trainee. Last time out in the Santa Ynez, tough spot first time against winners, against Midnight Basou and the runner-up, who came back to run a 3rd in her most recent start with a 78 buyer speed figure in the Las Virgenes. Aliana, I think, is likable and is certainly eligible to take a move forward.
I was going to say she might work out the best trip in here, and you know what? Maybe it's a little bit unkind to just say that Santa Ynez is what she is, because again, first-time winner, tough spot as well. Past 6 months for Peter Miller, first-time blinkers, 1 for 15. So it's a little bit of a concern for me, but I'm not going to knock anyone that looks at her and says she's going to work out the best trip. And guess what? I don't think she's going to get bet either.
Let's take a look at our top selections for this optional claiming race. Your DRF bets race of the day. You're going with the 5 Highland Last, just a rock-solid debut. Like the fact that she's come back with some quick works at Los Al.
Yeah, I like the 1-2 back. That was in 59-4. The big thing for me, I'm going to be very curious to see how the race plays out from a race shape standpoint, because I'm not convinced necessarily that Secret Spice is fast enough to get off to the front. Now, I know that she's kind of, her hand is forced and Kent's got to go, but I'm not convinced that she's fast enough. The 5.5 to 6.5 is a concern for the 5, but I liked everything I saw there. For me, it's really those interior 3 horses. I like the 4, I like the 5, and the 6. In order, I'll go 5, 6, 4.
You're going to go 5, 6, 4, and 2. What price do you need on Highland Last? Because I think she'll be an okay price.
I was going to say, I mean, I haven't priced it out, but knowing that I think this is going to be a pretty wide open race, I don't think I'd want anything less than 5, and I think I'd probably get 5.
I'm not sure I get the 3 I would need on the 6 Embolden, considering these big-time connections and the visual, just visual performance she put on in her career debut. She's my top pick in this race. Again, just the way she moved in her debut makes me think that she can perhaps successfully sit off other horses, get the jump on the true stalkers and closers, and hold them off. But I think this is a spread race. I mean, I went 6, 4, 2, and 7. I liked what I saw from Ahimsa. Show It and Mow It, I think, is a horse that I could certainly use on the bottom of single race wagers. And even Miss Dupree looked good, but Embolden's slight edge.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think this is, if you're playing multis, this is a spread race. You're going to need some coverage.
You're going to go 5, 6, 4, 2. I'm going to go 6, 4, 2, 7 in race number 8 at Santa Anita. It's your DRF bets race of the day for Friday. And if you sign up for DRF bets, you'll access a $200 free bet, no deposit required. DRF.com/join is the website to head to. The promo code is FreeBet09. Approximate post time for the 8th at the Great Race Place on Friday, 4:30 Pacific. Good luck.